It's about the people that you put around yourself and you surround yourself with. And our guys are all family.
Part of that family are brothers Dillon Stith and Jeff Mallory. The brothers' journey to St. Vincent started with Mallory, who was recruited by Coach D.P. Harris. With him came a young Dillon who would soon be introduced to the culture of basketball at St. Vincent.
It's actually pretty cool. The first time I met DP was, the first time I actually formally met him was when I came up here for basketball camp. He had visited and seen my brother play in the AAU tournaments and stuff, but I really wasn't, aware of too much was going on. A lot of other coaches have visited my brother as well. He's someone who really cares about his players and cares about the family of his players. More importantly, I was a young kid then, and it's something that's really cemented, the family type of atmosphere and tradition at St. Vincent basketball.
After 4 years at St. Vincent and a continued basketball career playing overseas, Mallory was ready to come back to his alma mater, just in time to recruit his brother.
I had hired Jeff. Jeff had just got done playing overseas, and I knew Jeff was coming to be my assistant coach. We sat down in a recruiting meeting, and we said, who are we going to recruit? And he said, what about Dillon? I said, Dillon, your little brother? I said, are you kidding me? How old is he now? And then, he was 16.
I was adamant, from a basketball coach standpoint, who better knows Dillon than me, that he was going to be a special player. I wanted him to come here, but I wanted the process to play out like it normally would with anybody else. And my mom was, she simply asked me, what should I do? What do you want me to do? How am I supposed to handle this? And I said, if he's earned a right to go to school, it doesn't matter what the school name is. You have to see what they can do for him.
It seesawed back and forth. The younger I was, the more I was like, I could never play, with those guys. Those guys are like, guys you see on TV. I felt like they could play with NBA guys. Then I got a little older and I realized, okay, maybe I could play with these guys. And I was gung-ho on coming here.
And I was kind of I was worried about that, having him follow in the footsteps, and not just because of statistically what we had done or the team. But just because, I wanted him to kind of, have his own path and make sure he had a nice setup for what he was going to do in the future.
Then, when it was time to pick a place to go, I realized that it really did become a no-brainer when I just really sat down and thought about it. I realized that it's not a place where I'm coming and I have to redo, my appearance per se. It's a place where I kind of have already stepping stones to build upon.
With both brothers in one place, they now had to adjust to a new relationship, coach and player.
When we're on the court, he, I 100% look at him as a coach, and more than a coach, a mentor.
And I'm hard on him. He'll tell you every once in a while, I'll say some stuff that I may have to come back and apologize to him, but he knows as a brother, as a coach, I'm just trying to get him to, play well. I could probably be a little bit harder. I definitely could be, but he oozes potential.
He pushes me a little harder, and so does Coach Harris. But it's one of those things where I know that they know what it takes, and I'm going to do whatever they ask of me. So
he's coachable now. I'm not going to say that was always the case as a freshman. He was still learning.
They've been successful in their past. You got to trust that they know what steps to take to get to certain places, to win championships and hang banners. And the fact that he's my brother, I really know. I've seen him before he even knew what St. Vincent was. And now I know him as not only a player who's hung banners and went to Final Fours, I know him as a coach.
Their relationship has many dynamics as brothers and coach and player, but it also is much deeper than that.
Jeff has always kind of been that father figure for Dill.
It seemed like whatever I did, he wanted to do.
He had way more kids his age in the neighborhood that, they always play basketball and football. I didn't have that luxury, but I remember, I kind of looked back and I realized I was kind of a tag along in a way, He would be out there, with his friends, all the neighbors, they'd be playing basketball, and I would try my best to try to, squeeze in here and there. And Jeff would let me in for the most part, but, sometimes he's like, this is serious, we're trying to play, and I would try to take a back seat, but there's no question, I'd give him a hard time.
When I was in boarding school in high school, I would leave. And the thing we would always do was Sunday evenings, and I would leave throughout the week and come back on the weekends. And we would always play like a game of one-on-one. And, it seemed like at first I wouldn't take it easy on him. I never take it easy on him. We play hard, we play physical. But I always remember getting in that car to leave, or, it would almost bring me to tears because it was the fact that I was leaving him, for another week. A
big part of who they both have become is their mother, who was constantly involved in their lives before and during their time at St. Vincent.
Mom is everything. She's done everything for me and Jeff. There's no question about that. If there's any similarities you find in me and Jeff, or anything that's been successful found in me and Jeff. You know, it's direct correlation to my mother.
Everybody says their mom is special and unique, but my mom is, she's definitely one of a kind. She sacrificed more than I probably, ever will as a parent myself. I can't think of how many times she, went above and beyond to make sure we were okay.
So I met Jeff's mom, and she came up and they visited the next weekend. And at that time, Dillon was just a little boy. Dillon was messing around, and his mom, like any little 5 or 6 year old, Dillon straightened up. And it was evident right away when you met them that they had a good family.
She was vital, and she's been vital to everything we've done as a family and as a brother. And we can't thank her enough. It's just, the support's simply been tremendous. And I know that's sort of a role what a mom and dad's supposed to do. But she's just been, just an awesome mom. And, I say that with all due respect. She's been fabulous for me and my brother.
Life has given them many memories together, but some of the ones both brothers treasure most come through basketball.
State Final Four game he hit, I think it was 6 threes. He had the record for the most threes in a game. And I just remember the whole game just going crazy. And I remember after the game, I was I just remember running onto the court. Everyone's still on the court. I just ran and jumped on top of him. I'm like, did you hear me? Did you hear me? I remember him saying, yes, I heard you yelling, I heard you yelling. I just remember trying to replicate everything he did in the state Final Four game the next day.
Win, lose, or draw, he was always there. He was always smiling. He was happy to see his brother, more than anything. But I think it was special for him to be at the games too. And if I had a timeout, if I knew he was in the stands, I'd make sure I, look over to see what he was doing.
I just remember looking up to it and thinking, my brother's a part of that. That's so cool. I remember on video games, I would create all the players, just because I really enjoyed watching them. And now I look at it and it's me and Isaac, Sean Kay, J.C. Howard, Ben Klimchak, Pat Jones. I think, maybe there's some people who look up to us.
Sometimes you got to take a step back because you're going so fast with practice and games that you just sit back and you say, hey, that's the same guy I used to shoot ball with, or hey, I held him in my arms, minutes after he was born. To have set that path, hopefully, for him to succeed and do better and greater things, he's been a driving force for that on a lot of occasions, and a lot of occasions that he'll probably never know.
As a person who loves him very much, it's been great to see two brothers grow